Hello Stampers! I'm using one of my favorite stamp sets from the mini catalog that we currently have going on with Stampin' Up. And today I'm using the Sea Turtle stamp set. And this stamp set is wonderful. I love that how you can do the solid images and just by flipping the stamps over to the solid side on your block. Makes life so much easier to have those that in there one and the same, so you don't have all these additional stamps. So anywhere that you see these shadow ones, they're the back side of these other images. So they work out perfectly. And I'm going to get going on our main panel here. And we're going to go through this step by step. And this panel is 3 by 4.25. And you can get all the dimensions for this card down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them all there, along with the links to the products that'll take you directly to my online store where you can shop with me 24/7. So I have my basic white panel here, and I'm going to start with my lightest color for the water. And that is Tahitian Tide. This is a beautiful bright blue. I'm going to use the blending brushes for this. So I'm going to first make like a half a circle at the top of my panel here. And that's going to be where our light is. And then I'm going to fill in and come down to about 1.5 inches here from the bottom. And then where that bright white spot is, I'm going to just make that circular motion here and just fill it in just a little bit lightly without adding any more ink to my brush. And then if you think that's not light enough, you can come back in and darken your other area up with Tahitian Tide. And that becomes whiter again. Okay, so we got that done. Then we're going to go with our medium tone for this project. And that is Pacific Point ink. Grab another blending brush here. And this, I'm going to do that same motion here. And I'm going to leave some of that Tahitian Tide where I can see it. And then fill that in. Okay, now we're going to go to our darkest color for our water. And that is Starry Sky. Now this is a beautiful blue that has a tinge of purple in it. And it really is pretty in this scene. So again, I'm doing that swoop. That's what I'm calling it, folks, a swoop. And I didn't cover up all of my Pacific Point. Okay, now I left this white down here. And we have this stamp here that is, it looks like bubbles all over it. And I'm going to use it for our sandy part of our scene here. And I'm going to stamp it in soft suede. So I'm just going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp it half into that blue and half into the white. I think I'll turn it around this way. You do it whatever way you think you'd like it. This is like coral down here is what I'm imagining. Okay. I'm just going to clean my stamp off a little bit on my scrap paper. And then I'm going to bring in some pumpkin pie. And I'm going to ink up just a portion of the stamp. And I'm going to kind of fit it in here. I'm just going to overlap a little bit. And then add some in that corner. And maybe just a hair up here. There we go. And now we're done with that stamp. And that was pumpkin pie. Okay, now I'm going to bring in that soft suede here. And I'm going to use just a little bit of color on the blending brush. And I'm going to blend over just where the soft suede stamped image is. I'm going to leave this nice and white down here in that pumpkin pie area. All right, now we have this little squiggly stamp here, and I'm going to use that with Melon Mambo. I'm going to stamp it just a couple times here over our coral. And you can stamp at different heights. I just wanted to add some of that corally color, pink in that coral color. There we go. Okay, so that was Melon Mambo. Now I want to stamp our turtle. Now remember what I was telling you about, that if you want the solid image, you take your turtle. Now this side here has all the detail on it. I'm going to put it facing my block and stick it on. And I'm going to stamp this solid image using Old Olive. And I think I want him kind of swimming at an angle here. See how that makes a wonderful solid image? And then I'm going to clean that side, and I'm going to turn this over, and I'll be stamping that detail part, and I'm going to stamp it with Tuxedo Black from Memento. And you just overlay this, line it up, and there's your turtle. He just turns out awesome. Okay, so we have that done, and I'm going to take a white gel pen here. Now this is a Signo white gel pen. And I'm going to add just a few little dots here behind his little fins. Are they fins? Are they legs? I think they're legs. And just to show a little motion. And then I want to highlight the front of his leg. And then the top of his head there, and then I'm going to just along this shell here on the sides, and I'm going to smear that down with my finger just on the sides of his shell there. And there are the highlights I put in and the little bubbles coming off of him swimming. All right, so now we're all ready to put this together. So I have a Starry Sky card base here. It's 5.5 by 8.5, and I folded it in half to create my quarter card. Inside I put a basic black panel that is 4 by 5.25, and then a Tahitian Tide panel that's 3 3/4 by 5. I haven't put any sentiment in yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for. So I'll put the sentiment in later when I know that. Okay, so I have another basic black panel, and this is 4 by 5.25, and I die cut some of these. Isn't this a great die cut? And this comes out of the Delicate Edges dies. This is an awesome die set. They have all these standalone images, and you can cut them out, and they're great to put on the sides of your main panel here, and I'm using this one, which I thought was just perfect for an underwater scene. So I'm going to use that one today. And I cut these out of basic black. I cut 3 of them. One of them I just cut, you know, a portion of it because I decided I didn't need that much of it. So I'm going to take our main panel here and I'm going to add it up here to the top right corner some. So this is offset up here. Doesn't it pop against that black? Okay, so now I'm going to take the longest one that I have here and I'm going to put it on just like that. So I'm just going to add a little glue. I don't add much, just a touch here and there because I don't want it to come gushing out everywhere. And this is that multi-purpose glue. So I'm going to add it on here where you can see it really well. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? Whoop, stuck to my finger. There. Guess I need just a hint more glue down here. Okay, so there is that part. Now I'm going to take an additional piece and I'm going to put it to the side here. Now this is just like the top portion of this. I just didn't die cut the whole thing out. I'm going to also glue this on. This you don't see as much because it's on the black on black, but you can see it and it just looks great. Okay, so we have one more piece here and I'm going to add this to the right side of this scene just to balance it out a bit. And I'm just going to make it so it's under the turtle here, and I don't want to cover up those bubbles because I like those. Okay, so I have those on. I'm just going to flip this over and I'm going to snip off the excess to be flush with my black panel. There we go. I'm going to bring my cardstock back in. This just gets it here to the front of the card. As always, we'll add some love in there. And we'll just put this on. Isn't that a pretty card? Here's my original. I hope you like this project and that you give it a try. It's a lot of fun to make and it goes together pretty quick so you can make a bunch of them at one time. Thanks for joining me today. Take care. Bye.